Hello, welcome back to War Thunder, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this should be in 60 frames per second. I've had a few issues, a few issues with my computer, but I'll get to that later. But anyway, I am in the Yak 3P, and we're over the Norwegian fjords, I think it's Norwegian fjords, and so yeah. Right then, so what's been happening? Well, I will tell you. Right, you may or may not have known that my previous capture card was an Ava Media, and it was a card that was a PCI card that went onto your motherboard. So, but it only captured 30 frames per second at 1080. So, I gave that to a friend of mine. So hopefully he'll start making videos now as well. So I bought myself a HD60 Elgato. It's a USB external thing, but in the meantime, while I was waiting for that to arrive, my computer crashed. So, and I couldn't access it or anything. So I had to do a reinstall. So I had to reinstall Windows 8, 8.1. Sorry. But my biggest problem had been the audio. Getting the audio on my previous card. I just used a 3.5mm speaker cable to go out of my motherboard into the capture card, and it had a pass through, and you could just use your headphones and such. But on the Elgato, it does have an analog input, but I just can't get it to work. So what I've tried to do is get my graphics card to output sound through the HDMI, and then just push it all into the Elgato. But for some reason, my PC wasn't accepting it. I was downloading the Realtek HD HDMI drivers for the motherboard, and then it'll work. I'll turn my computer off, turn it back on again, and then Windows overrides that driver with something else, and then my HDMI isn't detected in playback devices. So there's been some sort of conflict, but I got it working eventually. But I was thinking, it reminds me of an old game I had. When I had I had a 386, but before that I had I might have had a 286. Did I have a 286? I can't remember. When did Wolfenstein come out? That was a long time ago. But yeah, I had this game called X-Wing, Star Wars X-Wing, and that was one of the very first games that I had that had digitized sound. When a TIE fighter flies back, it plays the sound that you hear from the movies. But my sound card at the time had these things called IRQ interrupts and DMA interrupts, and if your sound card was running on the same channel as something else in your computer, it'd crash. And it just reminds me of the same problem I have today. I don't think Windows has changed. I don't know. Anyway, enough of me ranting. You just saw me there, just ninja a sneaky assist off that AI 110. I was there, so I had a quick shot. I didn't mean to. I wasn't intending to steal a kill or anything. But also, yeah, I forgot to add. I used to do my YouTube videos on iMovie, but for some reason the new iMovie doesn't export at 60 frames per second, so I'm having to use what I've got. Not Sony Vegas, Sony Movie Maker or something. So I'm just doing this off the cuff, so it may turn out badly, but anyway, on with the show. Right, this is one of those games where if it wasn't for my teammates, I'd probably be dead already. So, but there's a lot going on, so it's quite hard to tell you what's happening. Right then, so there are a couple of enemies with us, mostly Zeros and HO-84s. I think there's a couple planes here, so I say on the radio, help me out, and someone appears by magic. And this guy on my tail gets preoccupied with my teammate, so I'm able to I think he breaks off, but then someone else joins the fray, just as I'm following these two, and just as I sort of get in position, someone else joins, as you can see. So I'm switching targets, so I'll go for this guy for a bit. Now I'm also being careful not to try and turn fight with these guys. I'm trying to keep as much energy as I can. I'm trying to, but it's not working out brilliantly. So yeah, I'm trying to just do loops and things like that, and high yo-yos and low yo-yos and such. So now I've got two guys on my tail. On the radio I say, please help me. And I look behind me, and there's a I think there's 2 or 3 on the tail. So it's not looking too good at the moment. Right, so at this moment I was just trying to run away. But I look behind me, and there's a guy, one of our guys, helping me. There are 2 enemies, and he's in the middle. So the immediate enemy that was chasing me pulls off, and then I pull up and I try and intercept the guy that's behind him. But as I say, it's a bit of a bit of a scrap. So now with that guy off my tail, I can come back in and see what I can do, see if I can help people out. There's I think it's a 0 that was chasing him, and I think he bottles it, and we get another teammate joining the fray. So what I'm really doing, I'm just taking opportunities where I can now. I'm just doing what I can, and I think that's an 84. Just there at the right time, really. But as I say, all my previous games, I've been playing all day and not getting a good game. But every now and then you get into a team where everyone knows what they're doing. It's when everything clicks. It's brilliant. I nearly shoot a teammate there. So yeah, I've shot one down, and now we're just I was trying to get altitude and trying to keep them in sight as well. So, but it's as I say, it's a very hectic map. Yeah, so I couldn't turn with him, so I just pulled out of there and just zoomed back up and down again. But that guy has 2 of them on him, so as I said, wherever I'm just looking for targets really and trying to drop in on them. There again, I can't turn with him, so I'm having to zoom back out again. And I think our team's been doing quite well recently. As I said before, this game is completely different to all the others I've been playing. Right, so those guys have picked that guy off, so I don't need to worry about him. So I can just zoom back up again. But as I was about to climb again, I noticed there's a B7. Is it B7N2? Yeah, the torpedo bomber. So I try and get a few shots off him, but my cannons don't seem to do much damage really. I get a couple of shots, and then I think 2 of our teammates follow him as well, so I loop around again, and I've got the right energy now. I can just zoom in and take him, but I've got to make sure I don't crash with a teammate, so I just get in enough time, and I just get there just in time and smack his wing off. And I think that's about it. I think that was the last player. I keep getting my radio recalls. I say thank you instead of awesome. So I don't know. I always get them mixed up. But yeah, that was it. And that was the first game I'd won all day, I think. As I say, because the rotation, this rotation is on Simulator Battle. It's all nations except Britain. So if you're flying with the Russians, you'll be against the Germans and the Japanese, which is very tricky to do. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye bye.